Have you ever wondered if your life is real or just a dream? Have you ever felt like something is not quite right with the world? Have you ever questioned the nature of your existence? Hello and welcome to Curiosity, where we explore fascinating and interesting topics about everything. Today, we are going to talk about a mind-blowing question. Can we be sure that this world is not a simulation? Many philosophers, scientists and even celebrities have pondered the possibility that we might be living in a computer simulation. The simulation hypothesis is the idea that our reality might be a virtual construct created by a more advanced civilization. According to this hypothesis, we are not physical beings, but simulated entities with artificial consciousness. We are unaware of our true nature, because the simulation is so realistic and convincing that we cannot tell the difference from base reality. The simulation hypothesis is not a new idea. It has been explored in ancient myths, religious texts and philosophical works. It has also been popularized by science fiction movies and books, such as The Matrix, The Truman Show and Ready Player One. One of the most influential science fiction stories that featured the simulation hypothesis was The Matrix, released in 1999. The movie depicted a dystopian future where humans are enslaved by intelligent machines that harvest their bioelectricity and keep them in a simulated reality called the Matrix. The protagonist, Neo, is contacted by a group of rebels who help him to awaken from the simulation and join their fight against the machines. The movie raised many philosophical questions about the nature of reality, free will, identity and morality. It also introduced the concept of red pill and blue pill, which became popular metaphors for choosing between accepting or rejecting the simulation hypothesis. Another example of a philosophical work that discussed the simulation hypothesis was Simulacra and Simulation, written by Jean Baudrillard in 1981. The book argued that in modern society, simulations have replaced reality and become more real than reality itself. Baudrillard used the term simulacra to describe copies or representations of things that have no original or referent. He also used the term hyperreality to describe the condition where simulations create a reality that is more convincing and satisfying than the actual one. He claimed that we live in a world of simulacra and hyperreality, where we are unable to distinguish between truth and illusion. He also suggested that simulations can have negative effects on our culture, politics and ethics. But is there any scientific evidence or logical argument to support the simulation hypothesis? Well, some thinkers have tried to provide some clues and reasons to believe that we might be living in a simulation. One of them is Nick Bostrom, a philosopher from Oxford University, who proposed a famous argument in 2003. He suggested that if a technologically advanced civilization could create realistic simulations of their ancestors or other worlds, they would likely do so for various reasons, such as entertainment, research or education. He also suggested that such simulations would be so numerous that the simulated realities would outnumber the original one. Therefore, he concluded that it is more likely that we are living in one of the many simulations than in a one base reality. Another thinker who has supported the simulation hypothesis is Elon Musk, the billionaire entrepreneur and visionary behind Tesla and SpaceX. He has claimed that there is a high probability that we are living in a simulation, based on two assumptions. The first assumption is that human civilization will eventually develop the technology and the desire to create realistic simulations of their past or other worlds. The second assumption is that we are not living at the dawn of that civilization, but somewhere along its timeline. Therefore, he reasoned that it is more probable that we are living in one of their simulations than in their original reality. However, not everyone agrees with the simulation hypothesis. Some critics have pointed out some flaws and challenges in this idea. For example, some have argued that creating realistic simulations of conscious beings would require enormous amounts of computing power and resources, which might not be feasible or desirable for any civilization. Others have argued that simulating consciousness itself might be impossible or unethical, as it would entail creating artificial minds that can suffer and feel pain. Still others have argued that the simulation hypothesis is not falsifiable or testable, meaning that there is no way to prove or disprove it with empirical evidence or experiments. So how can we be sure that this world is not a simulation? Well, the short answer is, we can't. At least not with absolute certainty. We can only rely on our senses, our reason and our intuition to form our beliefs about reality. We can also look for clues and anomalies that might indicate glitches or errors in the simulation, such as inconsistencies in physical laws, paradoxes in logic or patterns in randomness. But even if we find such clues, they might not be conclusive or convincing enough to change our minds. The simulation hypothesis is a fascinating and provocative idea that challenges our perception of reality and our place in the universe. It raises many questions about the nature of existence, the origin of consciousness and the meaning of life. It also has some implications for ethics, religion and spirituality. For example, if we are living in a simulation, who is the creator or controller of it? Are they benevolent or malevolent? Do they have a purpose or plan for us? Do they intervene or interfere with our lives? Do they judge or reward us? Can we communicate or connect with them? Can we escape or transcend the simulation? These are some of the questions that we might ask ourselves if we entertain the possibility that we might be living in a simulation. But whether we believe it or not, it does not change the fact that we still have to live our lives as best as we can, with curiosity, compassion and courage. After all, even if this world is not real, our experiences and feelings are still valid and valuable. And even if we are not the ultimate creators of our reality, we still have some freedom and responsibility to shape it in positive and meaningful ways. That's all for today's episode. Thank you for watching Curiosity. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe for more content like this. And don't forget to share your thoughts and questions in the comments below. Until next time, stay curious.